This is my roommate Leah, and this is Haley. Hi, my name is Danielle Blaze, and this is my persuasive speech on against animal testing. Ask the experimenters why they experiment on animals, and their answer is because the animals are like us. Ask the experimenters why it is morally okay to experiment on animals, and their answer is because the animals are not like us. Animal experimentation rests on a logical contradiction. A powerful quote from Charles R. Magel on the Quote Garden website explains it all about how Americans feel about animal testing. How do you feel about animal testing? For research on cosmetics, household cleaners, food additives, and pharmaceutical chemicals. In the morning when you're putting on your makeup or when you're washing your hair, do you think about what the animals had to go through in order for those products not to harm you? Can you imagine putting your harmless animals, such as your own pet dog or cat, in pain just to be tested to benefit the human population? After detailed research on this topic, and being a person with my own pet dog, I feel I'm experienced enough to talk to you today about this topic. Being an animal lover myself, I put myself in this category against animal testing. Today I'm going to talk to you about some background information about animal testing, and then lead into why this is a problem, why companies continue to do this, and ways we can prevent this from happening. According to the article titled About Animal Testing on the Humane Society International website, some animals that are used are mice, fish, rats, rabbits, birds, and monkeys, and etc. Some procedures that are done are forced chemical exposure, genetic mutation, ear notching, and killing by carbon dioxide, neck breaking, and decapitation. According to Melissa Hagenboom's article titled Sharp Rise of 8% in UK Animal Experiments in the BBC newspaper, about 4.11 million scientific experiments on animals took place in 2012, an increase in 317,000 from the previous year. And mice are the most frequent animal used, with 1.98 million procedures. As we can see from this pie chart, that this is a section of mice that are used compared to other animals, and this is a chart that explains the different animals and the number of procedures they were used in. You may be realizing that this is sounding like a serious problem. Why? Because many animals are used and experience pain, injury, and experience death. According to Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine's article titled Problems with Animal Experimentation, there are two sources of suffering that animals experience while living in the laboratories, these being experimental procedures and confinement. Not to mention taking the own animal's feelings into consideration, with separation, lack of bonding, stress, and not being able to express natural behaviors. With experimental procedures, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine states, animals in laboratories are presented to toxic drugs and chemicals, force-fed, invasive surgeries, burns, and many more while being tested. For confinement, animals suffer social deprivation in small, often barren cages enclosed in windowless rooms. This is also stated by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. There is also a poor connection between humans and animals. Animals may be the closest option we have available to test to humans, but is not 100% accurate. This is because of a vast anatomical, psychological, and genetic difference between the humans and animals. The same diseases typically manifest differently among common experimental animals such as mice, rats, dogs, and monkeys, according to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. If this is such a serious problem, then why do companies still continue to do it? There are some mandatory laws and regulations regarding animal testing. Different regions of the world have different regulations with animal testing on products for safety. For instance, in Lisa Lynn's article titled An Ugly Dilemma for Beauty Companies in the Bloomberg Business Week paper, she states that China is the only major market where companies must test their mascaras and lotions on animals. In China, 72 animals are tested per product. In the United Kingdom, the Medicines Act of 1968 states that all new pharmaceutical products must be tested on at least 2 different species of live mammal. According to the an article titled HIV and Animal Testing on the Avert website. Animal testing is also used to further medical research. According to the Foundation of Biomedical Research in the 6th edition of the Proud Achievements of Animal Testing, many diseases that once killed millions of people every year are now prevented or treatable. Immunizations against polio, mumps, rubella, and hepatitis have saved countless lives from animal testing. Although medical improvement is good, there's also an alternative way that we can get these results that I will explain later. And to protect the safety of humans, animals, and the environment. According to a book titled The Use of Animals in Scientific Research, a wide range of chemicals and medicines which are used in a day-to-day life as household products in farming and in industry, and etc., are need to be tested for their safe use in humans as well as in animals. Such preliminary testing is very much an essential for avoiding pollution and associated health hazards and proper health maintenance of the environment. Although from these tests, humans and animals both benefit with hospital medications and veterinary medications, the selected animals go through a lot of pain and torture for this to happen. Therefore, how can we prevent this from happening? There are the 3 R's, according to an article titled Alternatives to Animal Testing on the Humane Society website. These 3 R's are replace, reduce, and refine. Replace a procedure that uses animals with a procedure that doesn't use animals, such as computational models, tissue engineering, and genetic methods. This is stated by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Also, reduce the number of animals in the procedure, and refine a procedure to alleviate or minimize potential animal pain. We can also lobby our government. Companies and countries have already started preventing such active animal testing. For instance, according to the newspaper article Airline Buckles to Pressure from PETA on Monkey Cargo, written by Huang in the New York Times, a Chinese airline has said it will no longer transport monkeys or any other primate used for laboratory experiments. Although China still requires animal testing for cosmetics or body care products, the China Food and Drug Administration has said we plan to drop the requirement for domestic brands of shampoo, soap, and certain skin products starting in June. Foreign brands sold in China will still have to undergo the testing of animals. And stray from products that have been tested on animals. Every one of us is a consumer in this world, so by making a little difference, by not buying animal tested products, we can contribute to being against animal testing. Are you choosing to put yourself in the category to be against animal testing? Well, having my own dog and being an animal lover, I place myself into the category against animal testing. Today, I talked to you about some background information and about animal testing. Why is it a problem, and why companies continue to animal test, and ways we can prevent this from happening. After learning further knowledge, I hope you too can put yourself in the against animal testing category. You can help prevent this issue by looking for labels like this on products the next time you're out shopping. Thank you. This is Haley, and this is Leah.